Welcome, Chris. Great to have you with me again on Facebook Live. I'm excited to have a conversation with you about this topic that, of course, has been on everybody's mind for over 2 years now, for sure, and in your case, a lot longer. But we're going to talk about work remotely and that shift to that hybrid model, or even just the full work remotely model. So, Chris, why don't you talk a little bit about your company and how this has impacted you?
Yeah, thanks for having me on the Zoomcast again. I really appreciate that. So, People to Go has been virtual for nearly 12 years. The majority of our employees have been working from home, and this was a decision that wasn't based solely on economics and the cost of brick and mortar. It was really about enhancing employee experience, right? And making sure that they can manage a work-life balance and impact morale in a very favorable way. We also want to be eco-friendly and good to Mother Earth. So that was
Nice.
part of our decision making, is we have to be more socially responsible and focusing on sustainability and doing our part and setting an example for others to follow potentially.
Right. And you are a technology centric company, right? I mean, let's just explain for everybody exactly what you do so they can understand, how do you get to work remotely? Like, what is your business about?
Yeah, we're a technology staffing and services organization. So we work with many types of companies, enterprise, small and medium businesses as well, helping them align different types of value added and cost effective technology resources, services, and solutions
Yeah.
to help create successful outcomes for their respective businesses.
Very nice.
Yes, and we've expanded our coverage into the US and even internationally now.
Wow. So how many employees is that?
We have about, internally, we have about 50 employees. We have 600 technology resources supporting our customers across North America daily.
That's amazing. That's amazing, Chris. And all remotely. So have you met everybody in person, Chris?
Almost everybody. Like when we look at our internal employees,
Yeah.
yes, many of whom I've met virtually countless numbers of times, but in person, no. But this year, my partners and I went on a road trip to Eastern Canada, to Nova Scotia, New Brunswick. We met some of our incredible staff out there. I mean, just the best people in the world. And next year, we're planning some trips west. We have
Oh,
we have
look forward to
employees in
that.
we have employees in 9 out of the 10 provinces, internal employees.
Wow.
This is in addition to the 600 plus we have supporting our customers.
Okay, so you have people working remotely, have them all over the place. Some of them you've met, some of them you haven't. Now, how does this affect your corporate culture? Like, were you guys not just awarded a special thing called the Greatest Place to Work, or Great Place to Work? I mean, how did you achieve that, being the not brick and mortar kind of deal?
Yeah, great question. So yes, for 2 years in a row, 2 consecutive years, we were Great Place to Work certified, something we're immeasurably proud of, which is indicative of positive changes within our workplace culture and focusing on employee experience. Fortunately, we have great collaboration tools like Microsoft Office 365, something you're an expert in,
Yeah.
really keeps us engaged. But as I've argued very aggressively with many business leaders and owners, you do not need to have brick and mortar in
Right.
order to have healthy workplace culture. It's about the people. It's not
Yeah.
about the real estate, right?
About the
So
people.
focus on the employee experience, and that comes in many different shapes and forms for us. We
Yeah.
even have a committee internally of the people for the people that influences our workplace culture every day, that people like me are not personally involved in. So it's our staff that are running the show, as far as I'm concerned, with our
Right.
workplace culture, not my partners and I.
Wow, of the people for the people. Love it, love it. Yeah, and I should mention here. I mean, you're definitely a large organization and doing phenomenally well in so many aspects, including the work remotely aspect and being a great place to work. For my own company, I'm small, very small. Like, we're just a couple of us here, and we do have outsourced people as well. But I actually made the shift to work remotely or work out of my home back in 2003. And the reason I did that was because I had a little daughter at the time that I thought, you know what, I need to spend more time with her, and not having that commute and not being stuck at the office is going to be better for me. So I can totally relate to what the employees might be feeling, or even yourself. Just having that ability to be from home, and,
Well,
and get rid of that
I
commute
will, I
time.
will, I will double down on your comment. A lot of this is for personal reasons, for people to spend more time with their family. Two of the
Yeah.
best parts of my day are walking my son to school school and picking them up in the afternoon.
Yeah.
It's only 15 minutes either way, there and back.
Yeah.
But if I was working in the office every day, I wouldn't be able to do that. And that's
Yeah.
something that I place great value on. It's something I treasure.
Yes, that's awesome. Yeah, so I thought I'd give a couple of tips to people if you're open to that, just in terms of the technology piece of it. So, what would be, I'll show a couple of tips actually right on the screen. But before I do that, do you want to suggest anything in particular that you have found technology wise works really well for collaboration for your company?
Well, I mean, Teams for us has been pretty big. I mean, obviously the whole Office 365 suite has many different applications that can really keep the level of collaboration and engagement high. And that's what these tools exist for, right?
Yeah.
But user adoption is absolutely critical. So that's why working with an organization like yours to make sure we're training our people on how to use these tools to the true effectiveness will help us generate that ROI. It does enhance employee experience as well. But, you know, we do a lot of video calls. Like I'm a big proponent of being able to see people, not always. You know, but it also keeps the mood very light. We have a good time. We have a lot of laughs, and it's just a good time, generally speaking. So the video for me has been pretty big.
That's awesome. Yeah. Good times are good times. Yeah. Teams, I'm just actually sharing, and Chris, I apologize, I didn't share the screen with you, so you may not be seeing this, but I am sharing the Teams application on my screen so the viewers can see it. And just in terms of the buy-in is probably, I do Teams information sessions regularly. So I invite people to learn a little bit about what Teams is about. It's a free info session, maybe once a month, once every couple of months. And the biggest reason people tell me they want to know more about Teams is because they're not getting the buy-in from people. And so part of my suggestions in that regard are, you know, build something worth going to. Like if your team is empty, or if you have no best practices, if you haven't shown people how to use Teams, they will hate it, because what do they know about it? So I'm just showing an example here. I'm in a spreadsheet. Sorry, Chris, you're going to have to visualize this.
No worries.
So I'm in a spreadsheet, but I wanted to show the viewers that in the spreadsheet, there's a couple of extra things you can do within Teams that you can't do if you're just on your desktop, just opening up Excel from the desktop. And those two things are comments, which actually you can do from anywhere. Comments is where you're commenting on something that's in the spreadsheet. But the other thing that really is particular to Teams is conversations. So when I'm in a spreadsheet, I can not only see what you commented about what I wrote, and in fact, you can be typing in my spreadsheet with me right now. So that's the whole collaborative thing. Like we could be in a meeting and you could be adding to the spreadsheet. I could be adding to the spreadsheet. You could be commenting on one of the cells going, Connie, I don't like what you typed in, you know, D7, and actually comment on that. And then we can have a conversation about the whole spreadsheet where we're saying, hey, should we use this for our presentation next week? So you're now having that conversation. And if somebody doesn't know about the spreadsheet, they can go. So if I go out of here and just go, visualizing again there. I go out of my spreadsheet and just go back to my team in the post area. Somebody can see, oh, Connie was in it looks like Connie and Chris were in that spreadsheet and they're commenting about it. So they see all the comments we made right within the post area. So whether you're in the spreadsheet or not, you can get directly into it from the post area. You can join us at any time. So that's kind of part of that collaboration effect, and that's available everywhere in Teams. Like if you are a team of people working together, then Teams is where you should be working. You know, that's one of the ways it can be work so well. So, and of course have that meeting within Teams too while you're doing it. So is that kind of your experience? Is that what you're finding that people are doing?
Absolutely. Well, I use it extensively for training purposes.
Yeah.
You know, we're very big on professional development and upskilling as much as possible, which ties into what you do day in and day out.
Yeah.
We want to make sure the user adoption and our efficiency and productivity is high. So, you know, we've been able to accomplish all of this without always seeing each other in person. So, and it does make things pretty seamless, right? It drives a higher level of transparency, accountability, and operational efficiency. And that's what we're looking for.
Yeah. Yeah, and when you said accountability, I just switched over to Planner within teams. And I want people to see that, this could be part of that accountability piece, where if a number of you are working on a bunch of stuff and you want to kind of keep in touch with, okay, I wonder where Chris is at, or how's Connie doing, or maybe you just want to know about your own stuff. You don't even care about everybody else's right this moment. You can do that by looking at the planner, and you can also have conversations in the planner. So if I go to a particular task, at the bottom of that task, I can have a conversation about that task. And then that again gets put into the post, and that gets linked to the planner. So if somebody isn't in the planner when you are, they can still see it, because if they go to post, they see it there again. They're linked back. So Teams is really this huge mechanism of linking information back from one area to another. So, and that's another big piece I think maybe sometimes people are missing, right? But
I think going back to one of your comments before, though, it's about user adoption, right? Mm-hmm. So when you have Office 365, we rushed into it pretty quickly, and that was a mistake. So user adoption wasn't as high as it should have been, nor was employee satisfaction with it. So working with your organization, you specifically, to facilitate that training, make sure that knowledge transfer is done, and that people understand the value of working with these platforms efficiently and effectively, will drive the type of ROI and experience that employees are looking for.
Yeah. Yeah, and just in terms of like helping with that work remotely piece, and even like, I mean, not to say I do go on site for some of my clients, but a lot of it is remote. So and it is through Zoom or Teams or whatever for the consulting piece. But I also have an online training system, so that if you are truly remote and you are kind of dictating your own time and figuring out when can I fit things in, then to have an online training platform that lets you I can log in anytime, and then I can actually go and pick my lesson I want to work on, and I can work on it 10 minutes at a time here or 20 minutes at a time there. I'm not in a classroom for 8 hours being I'm just again sharing my screen that I will definitely share with you next time, but so they can go in and they could just pick their whatever they want to learn about, or rewatch a video or something like that. So that's how I'm trying to help promote that whole idea of let them pick when they want to do stuff, right?
Yeah, we feel the same way. I mean, our people are extremely busy, and they know what the priorities are, but we set aside time for these people to focus on professional development. We expect that, because that's one of our core values in our workplace culture. So, giving them the tools and training and support they need to make even a bigger measurable contribution to themselves, their team, the company, that goes hand in hand with what you're saying.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's just like, a lot when people go into something new, a new environment, it is scary. It's sort of that you haven't done it that way before, but even seeing people like yourselves, your organization, the size that you're at, and someone like me the size that I'm at, it doesn't really matter where you sit in between that, or it is all possible, right? And it's actually maybe a little bit of respecting the other people that you work with, and trusting that they're doing what they need to do to move things along. Because ultimately, when you hire somebody, you want to be able to trust them to do the job that you hired them for. And what better trust there is than saying, you just go do it, and I'm going to trust that you're doing it even when you're not here.
Absolutely.
So anything else we should end this with? What are your parting words in terms of where are you going next with this whole work remotely, and what are you doing to kind of continue to make that the best solution?
Well, we're letting our culture committee take care of that. They're enhancing every day. They're making significant strides forward in enhancing employee experience, because the employees are making the decisions, not the senior leadership.
Right.
Also comment that I believe working from home is no longer a privilege; it's almost a right. And we certainly see this on the IT staffing side of our business, where people now prefer to work from home as much as possible. So employers that mandate people to go into the office 5 days a week, you're limiting the number of people that may be interested in that opportunity. It's not always the case, but that's the mentality people have these days. So otherwise, double down on your investments with your collaboration tools. Make sure the user adoption's high by having someone like yourself come in and do that Microsoft training to ensure that they can use it to the full efficiency and effectiveness.
Yeah.
Then you will measure an ROI, which won't be in productivity, it'll be employee morale as well, because they have the tools, training, and support they need to be successful.
Yeah, no, exactly. I mean, it comes down to the work. If you want to see the results of the work of the people, then have those results show in Teams or that kind of collaborative platform, so that that's where you go. No one's sending you an email saying, "Here's my spreadsheet that I finished." It's all, I can go look at it anytime. And you knowing that means that, you feel responsible and accountable to getting it done. So, but me trusting in you doing that is part of the equation too. So yeah, thank you so much for this time, Chris. I really always appreciate talking with you and hearing where you guys are at. And for those of you guys watching, if you have any questions for myself or Chris on this topic or any other one that looks like we are experts in, then definitely reach out to us. You can comment, of course, in the Facebook Live feed, or you can just send us a note through our businesses or through our social media. So thanks, Chris, for this time that you've given here.
Thank you for having me.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.